Welcome world, welcome everyone. First instalment of my video blog. I am SingerDread, at SingerDread on Twitter. Follow me on there. Got some music out at the moment, thinktankmusicuk.bandcamp.com. check out the EP. Basically doing this blog. Was going to do one a long time ago, but thought fuck it, I didn't need the hassle, I didn't need the shit that people were going to give me for my, the way I put things across and the sort of subjects that I'm covering. But I just think fuck it, there's so many things going on in the world now and so much shit that people need to know about that isn't necessarily in the mainstream media. So yeah, now's the time. So going to be a weekly thing. There's a lot gone on this week specifically, including the Boston bombing, which is the main reason why I started doing this blog anyway. But yeah, let's just get it cracking, you know what I mean? Let's get it started, let's go in. Let's go in on these various cunts that you will see in the news. Let's go in. So, Sunday, 28th of April, is it? Could be the 29th. Don't really know. Doesn't really matter. But Sunday, 28th, 29th of April, whatever, 2013. As I say, the world's a messed up place right now. There's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of stuff to be covered, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get covered in the mainstream media. So basically what I do, I watch the news, I watch, Parliament channel, I read papers, I watch the mainstream media, I watch the alternative media, people like the artist taxi driver, people like the anti-terrorist, people like David Icke, people from InfoWars, Prison Planet. Watch all that shit and I'll try and get an overview of what the fuck is going on, because this place is fucked. There's so much stuff, so many people struggling, so many people suffering, and very few people in the upper echelons of society, the elites, who are fucking thriving. They're taking public money and putting it into private companies. So much shit going on. So anyway, that's a quick introduction anyway. Gonna be a weekly thing, got a lot to fit in this one. So yeah, let's go. Basically, beginning of last week, was watching Parliament channel, seeing all the MPs in there, calling each other honourable gentlemen, my honourable friend, my honourable colleague. Man, fuck that shit. They ain't fucking honourable, man. That's some bullshit. They're the most fucking deceitful, heinous, lying pieces of shit to ever walk the fucking earth. But they call each other my honourable colleague. Fuck off with that bullshit, man. Fucking, it really gets under my fucking skin. So I'm watching it, and they hope that people don't watch that shit. They hope that people don't really listen to what's going on, or they watch it for 10 minutes and think, nah, fuck, this is bullshit. But the thing is, some really important shit goes on in there. And, certain acts that get passed and certain things that get voted on, that happens in the House of Parliament. And, I know it's fucking shit to watch it, these fucking creatures arguing with each other just for the narrative, just for the show. It's all for show. They're all on the same team. They're all batting for the same team, but they make it seem as if there's the Hegelian dialectic going on. You've got a choice between these two, and you see them arguing and that, really, but it's all fucking a facade. So they put through this act, the Scrap Metal Dealers Act. I was watching it and they were saying about how great it was. They tried it in Lancashire or somewhere. How, now basically this act that was passed, I didn't even know it was an act. It got passed through Parliament, and basically they trialled it in this area. They're looking to do it nationwide. It's a Scrap Metal Dealers Act, where people basically, you cannot buy or sell scrap metal now without a licence. And also you cannot, whether you got a licence or not, you can't exchange it for money, or you can't buy for money. So it has to be check or electronic funds transfer or something like that. So basically you can't just sell a bit of metal for cash or buy a bit of metal for cash to make a bit of money on it now. They're taking even the smallest things out of the hands of the poor man, and they're using the excuse, churches getting their roofs stolen and all this kind of shit makes up a very small number of the amount of metal that gets actually stolen. Really what they're doing, I think the things that do get stolen would probably be stuff from railways and from electricity companies, like cabling and shit like that. So they're the ones they're protecting, really. They're not protecting the fucking church whose roof lead's been nicked. They don't give a fuck about that. They give a fuck about these companies that are losing money from people nicking their shit for, like I say, from the trains and from the electric companies. So they're helping out their friends in big business, these corporations. So something like that gets passed through, no one really knows about it, it goes under the radar, all that shit happens all the time. You know, and they're talking about thieves and people nicking stuff, and people, oh, these people that nick these metal, they don't care about the people. Don't talk to me, MPs. Don't chat and sit there and judge everybody like, oh, you benefit scroungers, you're thieves, you're stealing from this, you're stealing from your fellow man and all this. You guys are the biggest fucking thieves out there. You guys are the biggest fucking cretins ever. You steal from everybody. You steal from everybody who votes you in. You steal from people that don't even vote you in. You steal from the whole country as a whole. So don't sit there judging everyone as thieves and benefit scroungers and all this kind of shit when you are the guys that are fucking worse than anyone. They were up in there talking about Maggie Thatcher, how she did, fucking glorifying her. It's unbelievable the amount of fucking praise this woman's got, when really she's, you know, like I say, she's a fucking devil incarnate, to be honest, to be fair. So, you know, they're in there saying, oh, she did Prime Minister's question times twice a week, and we don't give a fuck. No one cares. You know what I mean? No one cares. She was a dickhead. She fucked the country up, and now everyone's kissing her ass. Unbelievable. You know, no one cares. You know, it's like I say, it's all for the show. It's all for the narrative. You know, so don't worry about all that shit. You know, they can glorify her as much as you want. It doesn't change her actions and what she actually did. And people that know, they know. You know, people are still feeling that shit today. So that might even be another video about Margaret Thatcher, to be honest. You know, we'll do another one. So, okay, move on from that. So the Parliament, they've been chatting about this. Also on the news, I saw that there's a new problem. They're trying to bring something out for nurses. Basically, they're going to get nurses in training to do a year in hospitals, doing all the mundane shit, getting them involved in that, which is basically just another excuse to get people in there on very little money, doing a lot of work. You know, these nurses, all they get is shit. All nurses get is shit about how bad they are, about this, about how, you know, and these people are fucking angels, okay? If you're in hospital, you know, you very, very rarely do you have a bad experience. People talk about the NHS being shit. It isn't, you know, it isn't that shit, really, alright? Nurses are fucking angels, and they get demonised constantly. All the newspapers, all they ever do, bring out stories demonising nurses, making out that they're fucking lazy or whatever, you know. Unbelievable. They're fucking angels. They're wiping up fucking blood. They're wiping up fucking sick. Some of the shit they have to deal with is unreal, and still they get battered by these MPs. You know, fuck the MPs. They're all cunts. They wouldn't know an honest day's work in their life. Fuck them. And they chat so much shit about nurses. You know, and the Royal Nursing College has said that the government, it's a stupid idea to put nurses in before they're fully trained, because obviously it's even a struggle for these nurses that are fully trained to be staffing these wards with very few people. So now they're going to be chucking people in there that aren't properly trained, trying to do the same thing. That's not going to work. It's going to scare the shit out of them. It's going to make people leave the profession, and then we're going to have less nurses, and that's what they want. That's what they want. They want less nurses. They want less people going in, so then they can start privatising, which they've already started doing. That is, you know, I've got next point coming up. So basically, the Royal Nursing College has said, yeah, it's a stupid idea. Jeremy Hunt, who's a massive prick, has come out and said that the Royal Nursing College is acting like a trade union, the way that the way they're wording their stuff and all this kind of stuff. What the fuck, man? Fuck off, Jeremy Hunt, you massive prick. They're just trying to put the point across that what you're doing is stupid, or what your ideas of what you're doing is stupid, and they know, okay? They know that it's a stupid idea, and they know what you're fucking doing, and they've said that, and you have turned around now and tried to paint them as a trade union, which, you know, is, you're trying to be derogatory about it, but and what if they're trying to be like a trade union and trying to protect for people's rights? Yeah? It's fucking unbelievable, these MPs. Another thing about nurses and the NHS and Parliament, basically Section 75 a few days ago was debated in the House, and they had a vote at like midnight, at midnight. They're sneaking these things in very, very late at night, doing these late night debates, late night votes, and it was passed like 260 something to 100 something. It was passed basically Section 75, where they're starting to privatise services of the NHS. And people don't know about this shit because it's all under the radar. Nothing's ever mentioned in the newspapers. You know, as it is now, if you've got ear problems or whatever, you have to go to fucking Specsavers. They don't do it on the NHS now. They've privatised it, and now it's Specsavers. You have to go to sort your fucking ears out. So that's the first step. All these things are happening. They're happening gradually, but they're already happening. So people can say that they won't privatise the NHS. It's happening. It is happening as we speak. So wait a couple of years down the line, and then we'll see, won't we? So do some more research on that. Anybody, Section 75, the vote and all that kind of shit, you can find out exactly what's going on, what exactly the ratio was of people that voted. And to be fair, all the companies that are going to be getting the business are going to be companies probably that are owned or part owned by fucking MPs. Right, so you can search that shit already. Like the owner of Specsavers, I think the artist taxi driver was talking about it. The person that owns Specsavers is actually a fucking someone who gives money to the Conservative Party, or possibly even an MP. I'm not sure. So these MPs are fucking cunts. They're all wankers. They're all underhanded. They're all liars. They're all thieves, and most of them are fucking millionaires as well. So there you go. Talk about another MP who's been in the news, Chris Huhne, with his wife, ex-wife. She took his points when he got caught speeding, and then basically she took the points, and then she came out, they had a massive row, and then basically they both ended up going to jail. But what's actually come out now is that the fact is they're only going to serve possibly a quarter of their sentences each. So that's literally no time at all. So if other people were doing that, they'd be a lot more bothered than these two pricks are. But basically they're going to get away with it. So like I say, everything's to do with MPs. You know, it's a very shady world. They're very shady people. You know, don't trust them as far as you can throw them, basically. I'll take a brief break from politics. Have a sip of brew. Briefly get away from politics. Let's talk about Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez, in the middle of a game, fucking bit somebody. And it was literally turned round, something clicked in his head, and he thought, I'm going to bite you, and he just fucking sunk his teeth into the guy. Absolutely outrageous behaviour for an adult. He's done it before. And it's just another thing that proves that these people in the spotlight, these film stars, these pop stars, these sports stars, they're all fucking... A lot of them are deluded into the fact that they believe they can do whatever they want, and most of the time they actually can, and they do get away with it. You know, because they've got the money, they've got the power, they've got the influence, they're idolised by millions of people, and they literally get away with fucking murder, you know. So there was an old man, it was funny, on BBC News. There was an old man, they were doing vox pops, asking people what people thought of what Suarez did and that after the Liverpool game. And there was an old guy, it was a weird thing to have on there. Basically, they said, oh, what do you reckon of his behaviour? So the old guy turns around and he says, at the end of the day, football is run on money and greed. The morality of the players and the way they conduct themselves on the pitch or off the pitch is irrelevant in the minds of these owners and these people with the money, because as long as these people are banging in the goals or they're selling the shirts with the numbers on the back, these people don't give a shit how they behave. You know, they could fucking bite people on the pitch, they can crash their cars while drunk, they can rape people in fucking hotel rooms, and these people get away with it because they're, you know, they believe they're untouchable, and they're allowed to think that because basically they've been allowed to get away with so much. You know, like for example, this Pistorius, you know, Oscar Pistorius, and in South Africa, you know, basically he's murdered someone, and he's basically got away with it because he's got money and influence. So. And also another point, I think his brother has just been arrested and is in court for murdering his girlfriend. So, you know, what the fuck's going on there? You know, like I say, these people in the spotlight, these stars, they fucking get away with absolute murder, and they're allowed to. Next thing, the Boston Marathon that went on this week. look, there's a lot of stuff to do with that. Like I say, it's probably the reason why I started the blog itself. I've seen things from 9/11 all the way through. I'm 30 years old, so I can remember vividly what happened then. And back then maybe I thought, yeah, it was terrorists, you know what I mean? But then as time goes on, you see things, see documentaries, you hear people talking, you meet people, and then more comes apparent. And then we're at the point where we are now, where it seems like, the marathon, there were so many people there with video cameras and fucking phones and that kind of stuff. Really, it was very hard for them to deceive anyone now, because everyone has got camera phones and stuff like that. But like I said, I'll do my own video about its own video about the Boston Marathon. That'll be its own animal, and I'll do that at a later point, because there's too much to fit in to a video like this, so that will be coming at some point, because like I say, it's very important that people realise that governments in general do not have people's best interests at heart. And if there's any point that I want anybody to take away from any of my videos, it is that exact point. People always seem to think they try and always judge other people's actions on their own morals, and you can't do that with the government, because they have no morals. So you think, oh, they wouldn't do that because you wouldn't do it, but that you can't think of it like that, because it's pointless and it makes no sense doing that. So like I say, it's going to be another video, Boston Marathon. A lot of points to give on that. Another thing from the front of the papers, actually, this week just gone, on the Times front page, they said on BBC it would be the front page, maybe they changed it, I'm not sure, but basically the headline was, Spy Chiefs Play Terror Card in Bid to Save Budgets. Okay, get that again. Spy Chiefs Play Terror Card in Bid to Save Budgets. And that's blatantly on the front page, and there's no subliminal shit with that. It is what it is. All these people in intelligence, all the intelligence agencies, they seem to be embellishing the truth and basically saying that terror is rife so they can keep the budgets that they've been given. They can keep getting the money year in, year out at the level that they've been getting. That's clear, that's in your face. There's nothing more to read into it. It is what it is. And that's on the front page of your newspaper, but people will dismiss it like they dismiss most things. So you got to read into, you got to see these things for what they are. So it's another thing just to add to the list. This week also we had St George's Day on the 23rd. So St George's Day is one of them days, I think, where it's used a lot of the time as an excuse to bash foreign people. English people will specifically say things like, oh, I'm English and proud, if you don't like it, get the fuck out, and these people don't have a clue, they don't really have a clue, they're just chatting, recycled shit that they hear from a lot of other people, and it makes them feel like they're part of, the group or whatever who's bashing the Polish or bashing this or bashing that, when you look at things logically, like, these foreign people aren't taking the benefits. These foreign people aren't taking the jobs. It's the government and the MPs that are not providing the jobs and that are fiddling the fucking books when it comes to benefits. There's pie charts. There's lots of things on the internet where you can actually break down what money is spent where, and you can see that benefits is a very fucking small percentage. So before people start chatting about foreign people taking benefits and taking money, just go and see how much money is actually spent on fucking benefits compared to everything else in the country, including foreign aid and stuff like that. So before you start chatting like you know what's going on, and you can say that foreign people do this and that immigrants do this, just fucking do a bit of research before you open your mouth and start chatting shit, because you don't know nothing. Alright? And that's, like I said, I don't normally attack people like that, but it's really fucking annoying when you're seeing things on Facebook and you're seeing things on Twitter, people saying, you don't like our flag but you like our benefits. I mean, fucking hell. That is just, clearly racist, clearly racist. There's a lot of English people that are fucking lazy and that they don't work, and a lot of the time is people that don't work are people chatting this shit about foreigners. So hush up, please. Like I say, this week was also 20 years since the Stephen Lawrence case, which is a very sad case. There's a lot of ins and outs to do with that. The fact that these guys that have gone down for it, these two, they, you know, it's pretty clear that they may not have even been involved. They may have been there, they may not. You know, all the evidence was fucked about with. The police did the first tests on with the forensics, and then they found nothing, and then they gave it to another third party, a private company who now was doing it, and they magically found a microscopic speck of blood and stuff like that, you know. So it's very sad, because the family, they haven't had any justice at all, you know. And I think even the family, seeing them on TV and stuff, I think they still know that these guys didn't do it, you know. I think they know, and it's very sad, you know. And my thoughts and that go out to the Lawrence family dealing with all this shit. It's a very public case, and everyone's got an opinion, and it's probably, you don't want to hear everyone's opinion, just want to get on with your life. But, you know, they've got no justice, really. You know, Stephen's got no justice, really. They just literally grabbed some guys that were racist, and they could point the finger at, because they really had no fucking clue who did it. You know, so it's not even for these guys that are in jail. Like I say, they are racist, and they're probably horrible cunts. You know, but it's no justice for the family. It's not even about the guys in jail getting justice, but the family knowing that the people that actually done it are behind bars. And I don't think they really know that at the moment, because, you know, I think you can see that, you know, they're not happy. You know, that's another sad thing that happened this week. Coming up to the arse end of the week, a couple of days ago, see William, Kate and Harry on the set of Harry Potter, fucking waving wands around and fucking all that nonsense. And, you know, they're fucking witches and wizards anyway, all of them. Like, artist taxi drivers constantly saying these guys are involved in some dark shit, and they fucking are. The royals are unbelievable. And this whole child that Kate is pregnant with, apparently pregnant with, and all this kind of shit that's a whole nother story in itself, and there's a lot to do with that story, and also a lot to do with there's some big fucking problems with Kate's nurse, or the nurse that committed suicide months ago. They had a prank call go through to the hospital, and this woman didn't give out any information. She just put them through to the ward, these two DJs that were pranking, pretending to be Charles and the Queen or whatever. And basically this woman was found dead. You know, none of it makes fucking sense, you know. It's really unbelievable when you look at the case. I mean, it's fucking shocking, really. Like I say, that we could even have its own video. There's so much details and that to do with that case. That's fucked, really. You know, the fact that this woman was a devout Catholic, and in Catholicism killing yourself is seen as like a sin, and you will not go to heaven, so it's very unlikely she would have killed herself. You know, just little things, you know, where she's, you know, oh, it's crazy. There's too many facts for me to go into them right now, like I say. So please read up on that, have a look on the internet and see what you can find out about that kind of stuff, because the MPs and the royals, they're all in the same team. They're all fighting for the same fucking goal, and that is total control. And they're pretty much fucking there. So the reason I've started this blog is to try and just put out a few of these things that the mainstream media don't pick up, and try and just help people just hear something. And even if I make 1, 2, 3 people, 10 people just think, do you know what, he's speaking a bit of sense there, let me just go and have a look on this. It takes 2 minutes. Everyone's got Google on their phone, internet, you know, just fucking Google it. Just have a little look about the internet, you know, and you can find reputable sources on the internet. People say, oh, you can write anything on the internet. Yeah, but these people in the newspapers and the news lie to you a lot more. So, you know, you can take your newspapers and your news as gospel truth, but it fucking ain't. It's far from it. It's a concocted load of lies to create a story and a narrative where they can control what you think and believe as well as what you do. So, like I say, a lot of stuff going on. It's the first blog entry, video log entry for myself, SingerDread. Follow me on Twitter at SingerDread. There will be more coming, maybe one a week if any other shit goes on. I'll do another video, but for the time being, that's enough to be getting on with. I will be having a Boston Marathon video coming out very soon to go in the ins and outs of all that. So, yeah, thanks a lot for listening. Hopefully, you know, you'll listen again, and, yeah, blessings to everybody. Much love.